Hi there. So this is Coffee Questions with Dakota, and I'm answering your questions that you have. So this one comes from Hanne, who says, thank you very much for this opportunity. I have used your meditation of the medicine wheel to find the real source of emotional pains resurfacing in my life. I really managed to locate the sources in my very young childhood and was amazed by the result. Knowing where the emotions come from is a big help and, in a way, a relief, but the emotional pains seem to show up again and again, and by knowing the source, the pains don't leave me complete. Now, my question, is there a way to really dismantle the demons from the past and stop the emotions from returning? Thank you very much. Hanne, and I hope I'm saying your name correctly. That seems to be my big challenge. So the emotional body, when I work with the medicine wheel, the emotional body is in the south direction. When you work through those emotions and you trace them back to their original source, and you transmute that energy, you do what you need to do, whether it's healing, forgiveness, transformation, even, hang on one second. Izzy! Come back in the woods for peace and all you get are barking dogs. When you are working through these emotional pains, you have to, or you must embody the other directions to help process the emotion all the way through the medicine wheel. Hopefully that's making sense. So if you have, let's say that there's anger from the age of 5. There's a couple ways you can do this. Anger from the age of 5, and you know what the situation was that brought on this anger. Ideally, what you would do is take that anger through the 4 directions, and you would go to the east direction, and you'd find out how this anger impacted your self-esteem, or your confidence, or your lack of, or your clarity, your focus, your sense of direction in life, your mental body. And you would heal those areas. And then you would take it to the south, and you would work through the anger and how it shows up in your relationships, or through self-love, if it's anger that's turned inward, or if it's an external expression of this anger. You would use a lot of emotional, well, in the South we have the emotional body, so there's a lot of things you can do in healing just that emotional body in general. And then you would go to the West and you would work with forgiveness and boundaries and transformation and rebirth. And then go to the North and take that anger up there and work with it deeply with your guides to find out what the soul contracts were, or if it's past karma, if it's a past life residual. You can work with your higher self. You can work with the higher self of the person that you had this implication with. There's a lot of things you can do up in the north direction. So that's one way to work the medicine wheel to really begin changing how that anger shows up in your life. The other way to do it is to work through the chakra system. And so you take that anger through every chakra. How does it change or alter your sense of foundation and safety? And how does it impact your creativity and how you express yourself in this world? That's the sacral chakra. How does it impact your sense of empowerment? Where is that power leaking from in your life? And then you go to the heart chakra, and how, what can you bring into your heart and release that anger? Release the anger and bring something new into your heart. And then with the throat chakra, it's what do you need to say to this anger? Or what do you need to hear from this anger? And then you communicate that. And then going to the third eye would be, how can I see this differently? How can I view this anger from the lens of a spiritual soul? And what is it teaching me? How is it shaping me? How is it shaping my external world and my internal world? And then you go to the crown chakra, and ask for your guides to transmute this anger, to take this anger away, and see where it lodged itself in your body. Most often emotions will manifest themselves physically in our bodies. That's why, like you can have cancer and then do an emotional healing and that cancer will disappear, sometimes, because you're healing the source of the cancer. So that's another way that you can take this process through and really work that emotion and look at all the different angles that happen with that emotion that's showing up for you. And when you do this, and you can kind of view it from all these different lenses, you just have a different perspective on it, and then it no longer has that same control over you. And ultimately that's what you want, is to take your power back from that emotion and to learn the value that it brought to your life. Everything brings you value. Every hardship, every anger, every frustration, every grief, everything is here to teach you and to make you a better person. And we don't really learn from the white picket fence where everything is perfect and everything feels good. I mean, that's nice, and it's especially nice to have that, as a kind of a steady in your life. But the most growth will come from these kind of growing pains. Okay, so I hope that helps, and keep in touch and let me know if that meditation continues to work. We also have the mentorship program that takes you through the medicine wheel, and we dive deep into all of those areas that I mentioned. And it's a pretty powerful way to process the emotions and the events of our life. Each session we actually focus solely on that direction, but we have a story arc where we bring out all the things that need to be transformed, or things that are blocks, fears, things like that. And then we learn some tools, and then we rebirth a whole new new area of our life where it brings that direction into balance. So anyway, if that sounds interesting to you, look it up on our website and see if you can get into the next session. We only have 4 enrollments in the year. So, all right, thank you, and I will see you in our next coffee session. Thanks. Bye.